4,500 Marines are currently headed into war. Donald Trump pretty much just nuked Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what exactly is going on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bitcoin to 1 million channel where I talk all things Bitcoin. And I try and make my channel as just Bitcoin focused as possible and try to get away from politics. Because guys, one, I'm not a politician. Two, whatever happens in the US doesn't really affect me on a day-to-day basis because I'm Canadian. And three, I just think political stuff just isn't my thing, okay? But when you see, quite literally a war and potentially World War III unfolding, I think I have to step in and go, you know what, it's time to talk about this. Because as much as I don't like to talk about it, I do pay a lot of attention and I do actually, dare I say, study it to understand exactly what's going on. So why did Bitcoin crash recently? What did Trump do? Let's take a look. If you guys do enjoy this content, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, now 4,500 U.S. Marines and sailors are headed straight to the Middle East right now, okay? And their plan is to take an island and the Strait of Hormuz. Now, what is the Strait of Hormuz? We talked about it a bit in previous videos, but I'll get into that soon. Now, those Marines aren't coming for decoration. This is about to get extremely serious, okay? So how did this happen? Why is this happening? What actually happened? How do we get here, right? So rewind here. So Donald Trump, about 36-ish hours ago, tweeted, about like 30 something hours ago, he said, if Iran doesn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. So what does this actually mean? Okay, so guys, the Strait of Hormuz is basically this little like part of the sea or the Gulf or whatever, and that is where 20% of the world's exports come from. So you're probably wondering two things. Well, what about the other 80%? That's just not really how it works. Oil isn't as simple as water, right? Like there's water that's fresh water, there's salt water, right? And you can pretty much get fresh water from any fresh water source. Both oil, there's differences in density, the type of oil that you use, and not all oil is the same. So the 20% that comes from the Strait of Hormuz is pretty freaking important, right? Now with that being said, if Iran doesn't fully open without threat, they're gonna basically obliterate their power plants. Now why is this important? Well, obliterating their power plants means that, obviously now Iran has no power, which is bad. But why is that actually bad? Well, because Iran has basically gone on to say, hey, listen, we don't give a shit. And by the way, if you guys are getting your news from, the news like CNN or Fox News or whatever it is, just stop. Don't do that, guys. There's much better news sources out there. You're much better off just literally going on X, maybe Reddit, and other actual news sources, guys. For those that don't know, the media is going to be obviously feeding you lies. Anyone that thinks that the US is completely obliterating Iran has no idea what they're talking about, right? And vice versa. Anyone that says that Iran is completely obliterating Israel also has no idea what they're talking about. Right now, dare I say, it's been pretty neck and neck in the sense that no one seems ready to be backing down. They had options to do these peace talks and negotiations, but every single time nothing happens, and Iran basically says, you know what, we're ready to go, okay? Now, basically moving on, Iran says that Iran will completely close the Strait of Hormuz. So forget opening it. They said they're going to completely close it. Because right now, from my understanding, certain countries are still able to operate in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran also says it will hit vital infrastructure in the Middle East, okay? This includes energy, IT, and water desalination facilities. Now, what does this mean? This means that a lot of countries, for example, the UAE, won't have access to fresh drinking water. That's pretty freaking important, right? Same goes with, I believe, Saudi Arabia also gets heavily affected by this. Qatar gets heavily affected by this. Things are getting pretty freaking serious, okay? Now, Iran's senior military commander says the country's military strategy has shifted from defensive to offensive. And this is what I mean. Iran is not backing down. People think that the Persians are scared. They are not freaking scared. They're ready to go, right? Now, like I said, this isn't a political channel, and nor do I care to talk about who I think or who I support. In my opinion, all war is bad, right? The best case scenario is we all say, hey, you know what? Let's just stop this. Let's all shake hands, be friends, and move on to better things, okay? Obviously, that's not going to happen, but that's what I think should happen, right? Now, regardless, Iranian officials say the country has enough reserves of essential goods to last for up to 1 year. Now, this is also crazy because they're basically saying, hey, if you guys want smoke, we'll give you smoke for a year, which is pretty freaking nutty as well, right? Now, what exactly happened? Basically, because of this announcement, Bitcoin is crashing. Gold is also crashing right now, and the price of oil shot up to 101, and then I ended up crashing again. This week is going to be insanely volatile. Japan, the Nikkei index, or Nikkei index, however you pronounce it, is also down. So the Japan market is also crashing. The US stock market is probably going to have a pretty shitty, volatile week this week. And I mean, guys, I don't think this is going to slow down because, guys, remember, Bitcoin under 68,000, and there is again now 26. There's about 24 hours, give or take, so even a bit less than that. About 20 hours left before this deadline ends. Now, Iran. This, by the way, this tweet has been debunked as fake, but to get a rough idea of what Iran could do is they could hit the biggest desalination plant in the world, right, where millions will lose water. They could hit a Saudi power plant, right? They could hit a bunch of different plants in Qatar, what is this called? In Qatar, there's also Qatarian flag, that's a Bahrainian flag. My bad, my flag knowledge is a bit off here. But we can see basically all these countries are going to get destroyed, right? And Iran, again, this tweet is actually fake, but that's basically the damage that they can do, right? They didn't actually go ahead and name any of these, but that's what they're possibly able to do. Now, again, this is the Japan index that has fallen 4%, which is pretty nuts. Regardless, in terms of some bullish news, guys, if we want to talk about some bullish news, Michael Saylor, who has been buying Bitcoin at an alarming rate recently, is going to be buying more. So we're going to get an announcement tomorrow. So guys, subscribe. I'm definitely going to give you guys an update on that tomorrow. And Polymarket also says that there has been a actual warning. The U.S. Department of State advises Americans worldwide to exercise increased caution. Now, guys, there's a lot going on in here. Okay, a lot to unpack. Some of the pages that I really recommend following on X would be the Kabisi letter, Watcher Guru, obviously. There's another one as well. The Spectator Index is pretty good as well. Honestly, like, guys, realistically, if you guys want to get actual like research or information, just search Explore, right? A lot of people don't know how to do this. You just search Explore. There's a For You page, which is my shit. There's trending, right? You could click global trending. You can click Explore, and you could pick different countries, right? So right over here, like, you could literally type in, and here, I'll show you guys. You could literally just go on to Israel, and which I recommend people do because there's a lot of censorship happening. You go to Israel, and you could literally see all the tweets from Israel, right? Like, this is the stuff that you're not really going to see. Obviously, I don't really understand the language, but you'll see like actual like pictures and videos of what actually is happening. And, this is the type of stuff that you're not really going to see here, right? So yeah, the censorship is real, but again, if you want to, go through it, that's one way that you can go through it. Another thing is, guys, obviously just following this stuff. If you guys do want to learn more about this, Mario Nawfal is a pretty good one as well. And anything that you guys do see on X, the best thing to do is, one, check the comments, right? Because here, like this one, let me find one. This one, you can literally just check the comments, and people will just ask Grok, right? So you can literally just type @Grok, is this real? Or alternatively, you could just click the Grok button right here, and the AI will go ahead and check the how legit it is, and it will literally just get you sources and stuff like that. And you can also ask it and say, hey, like, is this actually true? Yada yada yada, right? So fact checking information is quite literally free and easy. Definitely recommend doing it. But guys, that is pretty much it. Again, I know this video was very war based and wasn't really about Bitcoin and Bitcoin's technology and stuff like that, but this does all have a very big part to play in the grand scheme of things. So guys, that is it for today. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.